Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Tonight we're making a burger with a twist. It is called egg, pancetta and chili tomato burgers. Here's what we need. It serves 4, so it will make 4. So as well as these ingredients, you are also going to need 1 or 2 frying pans. I'm going with 2 because of when I show you cooking the eggs. So, and then you'll also need a stirring stick and an egg flip for cooking your eggs. Come on in, I'm going to talk you through these ingredients. Okay, so first of all, 2 teaspoons of avocado oil. Couldn't find it, wasn't going to go and look for it, so I'm just going to use olive oil. I have read through my recipe, so apparently you're supposed to serve the burgers with avocado oil over the top. I'm just going to use good old-fashioned barbecue sauce because that's my favorite sauce. But if that's what you want to do, I'll show you how we do that at the end. Half a red onion, very thinly sliced. The other half of that I've popped in the freezer, which is perfect for if you want to make this again. You can just go and get it out of the freezer. And the reason why I say you can freeze the rest of it is because if you're going to cook it, doesn't matter if it's frozen. 1 punnet of cherry tomatoes halved. 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. 1 teaspoon of bottled chopped chilies. I'm just using crushed chili. I'm sure there's something more fancier, but at the end of the day, that is chili. A splash of red wine vinegar. A splash is just literally, these have got that funny little thing on the top, so just tip it upside down for like half a second. 8 slices of mild pancetta. Now, I was in Aldi, didn't have time to go into anywhere else, so I've just gone with prosciutto. If you don't want to use either, use bacon. So you're basically making a bacon and egg roll that way. 4 large eggs fried. Now, if you don't like fried eggs, you can do them poached, or if you want to do soft boiled eggs and mash them up, you can do it that way as well. So the recipe tells me 4 eggs cooked the way you like them. But I'm going to go for fried eggs because if I'm having the equivalent of a fancy egg and bacon roll, got to have a fried egg. 50 grams of baby spinach leaves. These have been soaking in some salted water so I can try and revive them. And 4 round multigrain rolls. Now, Aldi don't sell multigrain rolls. They sell these white ones. I've already had one for lunch a few days ago, which was very nice. So that's what we need. So let's get straight into it. So first of all, in 1 frying pan, we are going to heat the oil. Now it says to heat half of the oil, so I'm just going to heat all of it, which is 2 teaspoons. So let's go over to our frying pan. I'm a little bit tired today. Well, today it is actually tonight. It's my rest day, and I have the theory if I don't cook, everything catches up with me on another day. So I've really got to try and get my cooking done when I'm supposed to. So I'm putting 2 teaspoons in. If you're going to be using the oil on top of yours, you will only put 1 teaspoon in, or just use extra oil. I mean, avocado oil, I've never heard of it, but then again, there's so many different weird oils and such around now. You may buy it and never use it again. So unless you're planning on using it all the time or it's something that you already use, I would just stick with your tried and tested olive oil. Can't go wrong with olive oil. So we're going to cook the onion and tomato for 3 to 4 minutes, stirring until soft. In goes that, and in goes these. Now, I was given a few little ones from one of my lovely friends' garden, and I've cut them up as well. So I've got little baby ones, which I'm not going to cut up. They're quite delicious. All right, let's give it a bit of a stir. So we're basically making There is a thing I think you can buy is like it called chili jam, which is basically like a relish. So this is what is going to be one of the main ingredients on our fancy egg and bacon roll. Now I do love egg and bacon rolls. Been good to try not to have them for a while. So this is the gourmet version of an egg and bacon roll. All right, so while that's going on, we can cook the eggs, because what I'm actually going to do is make up all 4 of these. I was planning on going on a little bit of an excursion tomorrow, but between the rain and the fact that I probably should have an extra day to rest before going back to work, probably not going to, but I'm just going to make the 4 and then I'm going to cover them in cling wrap. So you can make these ahead if you wish to, but you really are probably better off doing them on the day you want them. So let's get our eggs. So as I said in the intro, I'm a fried egg person. I love them. I've got my heavy frying pan down here for my eggs. Okay. So I like to crack my eggs into a cup just in case I get any random nasty ones. Let's hope we don't. But bad eggs do exist, and once again we appear to be in a bit of an egg shortage. So you never know. Could be ending up with any sorts of eggs when you're in the middle of an egg shortage. It's not time to go and buy a chicken yet though. These are all going to join together, but if they do, you can just cut them when they're done. All right, so I've got 4 eggs in. I've got 2 little bits of shell in there, so I'm just going to grab a teaspoon. No one likes shell, thank you very much. So I wouldn't recommend freezing these once you make them, but I would say that they would, obviously you'd be eating them cold, but I would say that they would be fine for a couple of days in the fridge. And if you want to make it into like a takeaway style meal, either put yourself on some chips. A lot of people now have air fryers. They are brilliant for doing chips, or go down to your local takeaway shop or somewhere and just grab some chips to serve up on the side, because there's nothing better than burgers and chips. Yum. All right, I'll keep this going. So just stir this from time to time. Try and separate your onions. Right. Now at this point in time, if you like to toast your buns, then I would be doing that. I quite often like mine on just bread or a hamburger bun. Okay, I'm going to turn the eggs down. That's that one there. This is starting to get to the softer side, which is good. I want that egg to start and cook as well. Look at that. All the eggs are nearly cooking except the one over there. Silly looking egg. All right. Let's grab our next ingredient for our tomatoes. Stir through the sugar, chili and vinegar. Okay. I'm going to put this in. Now, with the onion mixture, I would cook it through quite a bit so that you get a softer onion. But also a crunchy onion can be quite nice as well. So this is why I'm putting this in a little bit earlier so that we can start and caramelize it. And then we just need a splash of red wine vinegar. That was the top that I was talking about earlier. So it's very painful if you want a teaspoon, but it's fantastic if you want a glug. That was a pretty big glug too. There we go. Now we're starting to really bring it all together because we've got a little bit of liquid in there. So what the sugar is going to do is caramelize it. And the chili is obviously going to give it that kick. And the red wine vinegar is probably just going to balance it out. Oops. And it's a shit lid on the red wine vinegar. Okay. I've just turned the tomato mixture off and I'm going to slide that one over to there because I just want to get the eggs done. So this is pretty much done because I don't want to mash it into a pulp. I'm not making tomato sauce. So I've turned this one off. I sort of want to try and get these eggs separated. They're not very happy. I'm going to have to scoop them all out. I'll get a plate to put the eggs on because we're just going to quickly cook the prosciutto after. If you want to flip your eggs over, do so now. I'll just give them a little bit of a flip. A little bit over easy, just for half a second. If you're not very good with cooking eggs, I mean, I'm used to cooking them on a grill plate, not in a confined little frying pan. Cook a couple at a time. Silly eggs. Silly eggs don't like me cooking them in a frying pan. Alrighty, I'm just going to give those a little bit longer. Crank the heat back on because we're going to get the prosciutto. Alright, so try and scrape out as much as you can. Alright, let's go get that prosciutto, which I'm only calling it prosciutto because that's what I used, but if you can get pancetta, that's what you would be using. If you don't like either, then you'd be using bacon. This won't need very long to cook. Which is good. Okay, so while that's going on, because I'm only cooking that on a very slow setting, let's go over and start and assemble them. So I have cut them all in half. We're just going to grab whatever I can salvage of my spinach. I had to revive it. I really hate buying a packet of spinach, leaving it in the fridge for a week, but I sort of always end up doing this anyway. So we do this, and then we want to get our tomato mixture on top. You're going to have to pick through this spinach. Not going to get as much out of it as I think, and I always feel like it's such a waste. And I've got to keep reminding myself, if I'm doing my shopping on one day, try and cook things that are perishable the day, like nearly straight after it, because the hamburger buns sort of went a little bit on the same path as well. I've just moved the prosciutto over. So next step is a little bit of this on top. And I've just dropped some onion on the floor. Of course I have. Pop that on top. Floor. Okay, I'm going to grab an egg and a bit of prosciutto. It's cooked. Okay, so then basically just put your prosciutto over, butter your bun if you want to, egg on top, drizzle with your avocado oil if using. If not, go for sauce of choice. Whack your lid on it and enjoy. Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been egg pancetta and chili tomato burgers. Enjoy, and I'll catch you on the next adventure.